Okay, welcome back to math class. Yesterday we talked about tangents. Actually, the last couple of days we've been talking about tangents. Today we're going to add something called a secant. Now, a secant, whereas a tangent was a line that went on the outside of the circle and intersected the circle at one point, a secant is a line that's going to intersect our circle at 2 points. So a secant is going to look more like that. You see it intersects our circle at 2 points this time. Make sure you can tell those apart. A tangent only intersects once. It's on the outside of our circle. Secant is going to go through our circle and intersect it twice. Now if we have two secants and they're passing through our circle and they intersect here in the middle, what we can know about the angle measures that it forms in here is that if you choose an angle, the measurement of this angle equals 1/2 times the sum of its own arc length, or its own arc measurement, angle measure, and its vertical angles, arc length. I'm gonna draw it out because I feel like it's a little bit confusing. A, B, C, D. So basically what I'm saying is the measure of angle 1, this angle right here, is going to equal 1/2 times the arc length of AB plus CD, these arcs. If I wanted to find this angle instead, measure of angle 2 is going to equal 1/2 again. Oh gosh, that was bad. 1/2 again times BC, its own arc, plus its vertical angles arc, plus AD. Hopefully that's pretty straightforward and you can plug it in. So that's if we have two secants and they're intersecting in the middle of a circle. Next, we're going to talk about what happens when you have one secant. Let's see, when you only have one secant. So we're going to keep our AC there. If we have a secant and a tangent intersecting at the point of tangency, so we have a secant cutting across a circle, and if it intersects a tangent at its point of tangency, then we can figure out the measure of these two angles. How are we going to do that? I'm going to add us another point for labeling purposes, ABC. Okay, what we can know about these two angles is that if this line intersects a tangent at its point of tangency, then the measure of this angle is half the measure of its intercepted arc. So basically, the measure of angle 1 is going to be half the measure of this arc here, ABC. So measure of angle 1 equals half of that arc, ABC. If I wanted to find 2 instead, then I'm going to do 1/2 this arc, its own intercepted arc. We'll just call that one AC. pretty straightforward. You keep the two situations separated though, because one of them is a secant intersecting a tangent, and one of them is two secants intersecting each other. And one equation is a little bit more complicated than the other. So when you're looking at this one, if it intersects at the point of tangency, we're just doing half of this whole arc. If it's two secants intersecting inside our circle, then we're doing half of this arc, its own intercepted arc, and the intercepted arc of its vertical angle. Which you guys should know its vertical angles are its opposite ones. Hopefully you can keep that straight. Make sure you practice identifying which is which, whether we have two secants or a secant and a tangent. If you can keep those two things separated, I think you're going to do really well at this.